Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I titled this message, The Competitive Among Us. The Competitive Among Us. And some of you all have been around people who look at what you do as a competition rather than a blessing. These are individuals who are very observant, and they are also envious types. There are also those people who are jealous and they don't want to see you get ahead. Matter of fact, some individuals revel in people's failure. So we're going to talk about these competitive individuals, and you may have come across some folks like this when you were dating. They were making everything that you did into some kind of competition. They were some poor sports when you ended up beating them at something, or if they felt like you were about to win, they were going to work real hard to make sure that you didn't. Then you come across those competitive folks at work, the type of individuals who feel like they got to have one up on you. Everything is about looking better, being better, winning. For some of you all, you had friends that were quite competitive as well. You dressed a certain way. Next thing you know, that friend is either wearing something similar to what you had on, or they have to outdo you. And you're just going to the store. Or you're just going to a casual family affair. Oh, these competitive people, the insecurities that are within. And then what happens is that there's an evil side to these competitive folks. If they feel like you are going to threaten them or threaten a friendship or threaten a connection, whether it be with someone that you both know, or it may even be a spouse when it comes to children. If they feel like you are a threat, they're going to find ways to circumvent whatever it is that you are doing. So, for instance, if you need certain tools, certain supplies, something to create, something to help out the family, something that everybody will enjoy, if they are responsible for making sure that you get some of those supplies, well, if they're not in the mood to see you succeed, they're going to make sure that you don't get all or none of them. Some of these people will make sure that the thing that you need the most, they won't get. That name brand item that you trust, oh no, suddenly I forgot. Competitive people know how to slow the steamroll. They know how to make sure that anything that makes them uncomfortable will not come into fruition while on their watch, while on their dime. There's a spirit. There is a spirit with some of these people that is rooted in years and years of being rejected. Once again, rejection plays a part with some of these folks that we know. So they feel like they have to outdo everyone. They feel like they have to be the best at whatever. They know that they don't have a certain skill set, so they're going to come as close to doing whatever it is that you are good at. So if you are good at making pies, they're going to go and buy a pie. If you are good at cooking some extravagant meals, they're going to make sure they go to the expensive restaurant and purchase an item or two that is going to be better than what you make. They're going to do these things without communication, without notice. If they know that there's going to be a crowd of watchers, because, well, competitive people also want to be seen. They want people to notice them. They want some attention. And if you receive too much attention, they want to take that shine away from you. Oh, there's a lot of layers to some competitive folks. It's not just the competition, but it's everything that leads up to the competition. It's the times, or those days, I should say, where they sit back and they contemplate on what they're going to do next. They're planning, they're watching, they're observing, they're studying. For some of you all, during the early stages of the dating, the courtship, they were watching you. And they were seeing where you were strong, and they were seeing where you were weak. And if you had too many weaknesses in their eyes, well, you were actually a good catch. Because then that means that you're not going to outshine them, that there is no competition. They don't have to be intimidated by your education or by your money, because you don't have too much of anything. But then when you start that slow climb up, and you start achieving, and you start getting some things that they don't have the motivation to get, now it's a competition. Some people cannot thrive in any type of relationships, partnerships, friendships without being competitive. He has a real nice car. I gotta get one. That's even better than his. He has a drop dead gorgeous woman. I gotta go and get me one that's better looking than her. He has a nice job. I gotta get one that pays a lot more than his. It's always a competition with some of these folks. And the friends pick up on it at times. And other times they don't. They just think that, oh, he's just being the way he is, or she's just doing her. But then sometimes that competition starts to show up in some very ugly ways. Some are so dirty that they don't like the fact that their friends have a quality relationship, so they don't mind taking their friend's woman, seducing their friend's woman, and ultimately sleeping with her or him. I just can't seem to get my way. I just can't seem to feel good about myself. I'm so tired of coming up from behind. I'm so tired of everybody around me doing better than me. And this is where the drive kicks in to compete. Someone didn't get the memo. You don't have to be competitive with your family and your friends. It's not a competition. A lot of times we are just not paying any attention to any of this. We're just doing what we do. We take care of our households. We take care of our responsibilities. We want some good things for ourselves. We're not thinking about impressing anyone. We're not thinking about ruffling anyone's feathers. We're not doing some things just because we want to get at someone. We just look at what our day-to-day responsibilities are, and we tend to them. But the competitive person always thinks that there's some type of plan in the working. They always think that, oh, this one is just doing this because they just want to appear like they're better. Well, I got news for them. I'm going to bring them down low. I'm going to make them realize that you need me and I'm better than you, and whatever voices are going on in some of these people's heads. If they grew up in an atmosphere where siblings were competing amongst each other, some people don't grow out of that. If they were around a bunch of friends who competed for women, for men, for cars, for houses, for whatever, some folks just don't let go of those sorts of things. And so we pray for these individuals, and we talk to the Lord about what is on our hearts. And we distance ourselves a bit from people who are starting to work that last nerve when it comes to assuming the worst in us, assuming that everything's a competition. Those of you all who have cried many tears because some of these folks are very close to you, I suggest that you reevaluate your closeness, because life is too short to be around people who all they're concerned about is, what can I do in order to bring you down because I can't stand the fact that you are succeeding? What can I do to slow your roll because I see that you are headed somewhere, and that somewhere just might be without me? These are individuals that we've got to be very mindful of, because just as they sit back and watch us, we can't be too busy to not see where the enemy is at work. So that is it. Please do check the description box for anything that might be of interest. You've been listening to YouTube NM Enterprise 7. Subscribe today. Also, if you haven't given, we do welcome donations. Blessings to you.